Hey there, you're welcome to this week's Tech Tuesdays webinar on accelerating SaaS MDM with Salesforce records. I'm Brinda, joining as a host for today's session. And joined with me is Kamal Abrol, an MDM veteran from the Customer Success Technologies team, who will be presenting for today's session. Before we start this webinar, let's go through some housekeeping tips. The duration of the webinar is 1 hour. That includes a 15 minutes Q&A. You can post your queries in the Q&A box. Dial-in participants are muted for the entire session. The session is being recorded and will be available in the Informatica Support YouTube channel and the Success portal. You will be able to download the slide deck from the Success portal. Please feel free to put in your feedbacks and suggestions for the session in the post-webinar survey. The Tech Tuesdays webinars are hosted within the Success portal, which is a micro-learning platform that offers free and unlimited learning to all registered users. This feature-rich platform was launched to help you learn and use Informatica products better. These are some important links that you can go over later that will help you in your product adoption journey with Informatica. Over to you, Kamal. Thank you.
Hi, thank you, Vrinda. Good morning, good evening, everyone. I welcome to you this Tech Tuesday webinar, and I hope I could do justice to your time as well. And I'll directly start with the agenda, like why we are organizing this, and what is the need of integrating CRM application like Salesforce, most common with C360 SaaS, and what we call commonly as MDM SaaS, like or cloud MDM, right? And it will be followed by the architecture, like the how data flow looks like, and from the end-to-end architecture point of view, we'll be discussing that, and followed by the accelerator overview, like why accelerator is needed and what are the capabilities, features, assets of those accelerator coming along with C360 SaaS, and some of the more rigorous scenarios like batch integration, real-time integration, search before create. So these are the most common use scenarios while integrating with any system. Forget about Salesforce, any CRM application, but today we'll be more focused on the Salesforce and the contents of the accelerator, the deployment process, and the complete demo all together from the product standpoint, so that so you guys can visualize the need and the look and feel and how it works actually. I'll move to another slide. So, as we must be aware, like MDM is critical in enabling the CRM apps to create 360 view of the customers. I mean, it's definitely required for optimal customer experience. And as Gartner says, CRM leaders must understand benefits of MDM and make it a part of CRM strategy. So why I'm saying all those quotation, because Salesforce is one of the most common sources which used to be integrated with C360 application, whether it's on-prem, whether it's SaaS. Okay, so there is always need of some jump start of C360 implementation with some accelerator. Okay, and today we'll be focusing on accelerating C360 implementation with inbound outbound integration, okay, between the Salesforce and the our SaaS application. But what and why I've told you, but look at some of the like more benefits, like how, like I said, the CRM is one of the most popular. It jumpstart the projects with the predefined mappings, task flows, job definition, out of the box data model. It's built on top of it. Okay, and definitely a proof of point to be showcased to the management in a very quick turnaround time, and definitely it's built uh, to streamline the integration process and approve the UI or the business buyers of MDM approve the okay the architecture. So here you see at the left hand side we have a Salesforce org, and in the middle we have a customer 360 SaaS application altogether. That's what we call cloud MDM. Okay, and the data flow looks like we offer both like bi-directional or integration with full and incremental data load. And when I say bi-directional integration, I mean the ingress and the egress part of it. And if you see in the inbound approach, we are extracting the data from the Salesforce, and we have the mappings, predefined mappings, task flows which are processing the data, transforming the data, and finally we are pushing the data to the C360 application. And once the data is pushed to the application, and let it be in batch mode or the real-time mode, we support both. We can always, since it's bi-directional, we can push the MDM IDs back to the Salesforce. So once the golden is created, and that is the export job or the egress job. And the whole process involves three tools. One is the Salesforce, obviously the source. Second is the cloud data integration solution, and third is the C360 SaaS. So we have the ETL, we have the MDM, and we have the source application. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Okay, so what are the contents, like what are the capabilities of this accelerator which we are pitching you guys? And it's, first of all, it's completely free, and it's come along with the C3 SaaS, and I'll tell you how to download and how you can request that. The complete ease of deployment is there. But what are the features of it? So features, we do support bidirectional integration between um, like Salesforce and C360, complete full and the delta load of data, right? And we can achieve this by a batch and the real-time integration also. And some of the interactive features also, to access the C360 data from the third-party tool like the Salesforce, wherein we can search the data and check whether it exists already in the C360 Salesforce or C360 SaaS or not. I'll repeat my statement. We can search the data within the Salesforce to check whether it's already exists within the MDM SaaS or not. If it already exists, we don't have to create a duplicate in the Salesforce application. We can directly import from the C360 SaaS or MDM SaaS. So that's more user interactive way to access C360 data from the Salesforce itself. And like the account, person, account, contact, hierarchies, all those are supported as a part of data model, right? And all those so this accelerator, we need to understand, is built on top of the out of the box data model. Okay, and I mean out of the box data model from the Salesforce perspective and the MDM SaaS or C360 SaaS perspective. Okay, so this any changes if you want to do on the top of the data model can be taken care by customizing the assets. Okay, and like I said, we like you see on the screen, we have CDI and CAI. CDI, cloud data integration, can also be used as an ETL, on the cloud for the batch processes most commonly, and AI for the real-time integration, and data quality for all those enrichment and validation rules, and definitely our C360 UI for the end 360-degree visualization of your customer, which are integrated from the Salesforce. Okay, we'll move to next slide. Let's look at some of the batch integration scenarios now, and since it's bi-directional, so we can create the record in the Salesforce and directly get in sync with the C360 SaaS application, and it supports both like create and update functionality, even search before create. But if I talk about the batch, we support both create, update, in fact merge also, right? So all those are the operations are supported. Let's Salesforce to SaaS, and we can update from SaaS to Salesforce also. So all these inbound, what we call ingress mappings, and outbound integration from SaaS to Salesforce, what we call export mappings or egress mappings, are provided along with the Accelerator. You just have to run as per your use case, and the fields which are mapped are built on the top of the data model what is provided with Salesforce and SaaS, right? So no need of any uh, configuration which is no need of any major customizations. It's ready to deploy, what we call. Okay, let's move to the other slide. So both operations, like I said, full and incremental loads. Within the initial load is also supported, incremental is also supported, and the predefined mappings come along with it. And the logic behind initial load is like once the master data is created, all the full data sets is created within the Salesforce. It can be any object like account, contact, organization, like we said, right? So all those can be fetched as a part of full data set using the ingress job, using the CDI tool. Okay, and that's what we call ETL, and push into the customer 360 SaaS. And delta load comes with the logic with the last modified date, which we are maintaining as a part of in and out parameter in the mapping. So whenever our load gets executed, and we save the in a last modified date as a parameter in the mapping during the load job. Okay, and so that we can remember like from where we left. So that's how the logic behave, and we support both delta as well as initial. Like we see Salesforce objects, and we check whether what all objects we need to pick up from Salesforce and push into the SaaS is using this logic. Delta load, what we call last modified date, should be greater than the max value, that is the last date from on which delta load run already. Okay, and both once the data has been pushed into the SaaS, we can update the MDM ID into the Salesforce using the egress jobs at both the places. Okay, so this is more like a different perspective of batch integration, initial load and the delta load. Now we'll move to probably the demo altogether, at least for the batch integration. For now, I'll show you the real-time integration and the sliders after the batch integration demo, because whatever we have seen up till now, let's look at from the product standpoint also how it is integrated via initial load, incremental load, how you run the batches, and how the objects are created. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll create a record in the Salesforce, and we'll check first it already exists in C360 SaaS or not. If not, then we create a record in Salesforce and try to integrate with SaaS. Okay, let's directly jump onto the screens like the So this is our console, right? And C360 console, which is will be wherein we can search all those the customers or 360 view of the customers. Okay, let us search maybe the person itself. Okay, and okay, the most common name I could think of is nowadays. So there's nothing called Putin in the person. Let's try to create a contact in the Salesforce uh, as a Putin. Okay, since it doesn't exist within the 360 application like other customers. If you see, we have a lot of person entities, not like Putin. We'll create in the Salesforce first, and then try to see whether it's integrated or not. Okay, this is a contact, and any system it belongs to, you can mention that. And okay, maybe I can write over here. Anything is okay. Okay, I'll create a contact now. This should be integrated with the customer 360. Now to integrate that, we need to run the okay. This is created. You can see now we have the contact was put in, and now let's see how to integrate with the C360 SaaS is to go to the business 360 console. Okay, and search for the jobs and the task flows which we have already created. I'll move directly first to the demo, then we can see what's the logic behind that. And maybe job type. Let's first, we need to go to the customer 360 application. We need to search the Salesforce Accelerator which we have deployed, that is Salesforce extension. Inside that we can search like job definition altogether. Okay, and we have this contact. So this is like a ingress job. Salesforce is the source application wherein we are integrating contact with the person mapping, and that's an inbound initial. We can have delta as well. We can have other objects as well, not just a person. We can have organization, account, hierarchies also can be integrated with this accelerator itself. These are predefined mappings already provided to you. I'll show that. But first, let's try to run this as a mapping. This is a job definition. This will definitely integrate Vladimir Putin record from Salesforce to the C360 SaaS application. And once I try to run, it will take around a minute. So it's running, and there are steps, few steps. Maybe like first it I mean, there are few steps, it takes some time, but not more than 3 to 4 minutes. So it first extracts, then transforms, then load and build the index, and finally push it to the C360 SaaS application. So okay, so till the time it extracts properly and let's look at the logic behind how it extracts. And so this is our data integration tool, and okay, and now we have multiple objects like the contact, its mobile phone, addresses, everything we are taking as a part of our Salesforce connection with the CDI, data integration tool, which I've already showed you as a part of architecture. And we have the fields also mapped to it, and some extra fields like customer 360 ID because that would be needed, right? And source key from the Salesforce ID is also needed, right? So all this mapping is already done, and you can see also in this essentially like some of the key things like the expressions also is possible, like the source system from where it is coming, the contact detail, all those are dynamic. Some of the if else condition also is definitely possible. So this is a complete mapping. We can go one by one also, but I would insist you it's straightforward. Like we are extracting the data, some transformation is needed in between the mapping as per the business use case. You can still go ahead and deploy all those from this panel, like the joiner, aggregator, lookup, all those reference data also possible. So these are some of the logics you can deploy. On top of it, on specific fields like the sum of the null checks, some basic if else also, okay, so that we can extract the correct data or the valid data before it even try to run it and push to the our MDM application. Okay, so okay, now we have all those incoming fields already defined. The sync date is also there for the delta. These are some of the modified, I mean, some of the added fields on top of the fields which are coming from Salesforce. Okay, so all these are out of the box data model only, apart from two fields. Okay, and now let's check whether it's the record has been integrated with the C6's application. Okay, first try to check like is it okay. Now it's done already, and it took around 3 minutes or 3 minutes 32 seconds, and these are the steps already been achieved. And now let's look at the screen itself from the UI, which it should contain Vladimir Putin on okay, now it's there, right? It's already integrated, and the critical thing to note is it's integrate the address. We didn't specify all those details, but it integrates everything as a part of this accelerator. Now, not only this, the complete source information from where this record came, right? Like what are the source application, like it came from Salesforce, right? And the hierarchy is also can also be integrated as a predefined mappings. We can run the hierarchy job also. The complete relationship graph is 360 view of that putting like how what are the address it belongs to. So that complete information is integrated via just one click, and that is a part of our predefined mappings already done via Accelerator. So I hope this batch ingress demo is more like have given more clarity, like how it is done, how it ran, although only one record is there, but you can like a number uh, based on the volume you're carrying and the sizing accordingly. Okay, and now let's look some of the real-time use cases also. Batch ingress we have already demonstrated. I'll directly jump again to the sliders for the real-time use case clarity, and then we'll look at the demo also. Let's go to the slide again. Okay. So we have already seen the batch ingress now. Essential thing to notice, actually these screens I have already shown you, like the UI layouts, like how a particular record looks like, the source records, like how from where it is integrated, what are the source systems, the batch jobs, how it runs. So these are tools you should be aware, like the SaaS application you can see on the middle of the screen, and on the right hand panel, if you see on the below, we have the business 360 application where we try to run the job, that's an ingress job, batch job, and the DI mappings what we have shown from the system also, to extract the data, transform the data, and finally push the data into the SaaS application, that is the C360 SaaS. Okay, some of the contents I would say. Okay. So these contents we have already seen altogether. I'll just skip this slide. All those reference data, relationships, mapping, task, job definition are already provided. We have just seen now contact to person as an inbound mapping. There are hierarchy, there are account to organization. All these are pre-built. Don't have to on the top of the out of the box data. These are already provided to you as a part of this accelerator. Very exciting and very like it altogether a jump start we call when a customer try to deploy this accelerator, and we will have a complete support from the PM team, from our engineer side if there's something we want, and even from the customer success technologist team, where we try to guide you if you're stuck in between in implementing this accelerator. And there are a lot of benefits. And okay, so all those connectors, connections, hierarchy, UI pages are a part of this, which will be provided to you, part of this accelerator. So I'm just for showcasing the contents, but now the essential thing to focus on the real-time integration scenarios, wherein that there are two types of integration in real time, what we call is first one is search before create. So this is most common in our on-prem applications, also in the cloud world, also SaaS world, I mean, also. And that is first you search for a customer in a CRM application. Again, I repeat my statement, not in the SaaS application. We can have an interactive UI within the Salesforce itself, wherein we can search for a customer in the CRM application, that is Salesforce. If it exists within the C360, then it will showcase on the real time in the CRM application only. You don't have to go through the C360, search it, and then create it. You can search in the Salesforce itself and import the results which are already present in the C360. You don't have to create the duplicates, right? So that is the search before create feature. In the real time we are doing the integration, and second is the real time inbound, wherein we try to capture and publish any change within the Salesforce directly with the C360 SaaS. So both are in sync. So, that is real time inbound. We'll try to see one of these as a demo. Let's try to see more commonly used, that is search before create in the Salesforce feature. Okay, I'll directly go to the demo to give you more clarity from the product again. Okay, I'll move to next one. That is again a demo on the real time. Okay, I'll directly move on to the UI again, and so for the real time integration, we need two UI. One is the Salesforce, wherein we'll search before create function. I will try to search the record before creating it to check whether it already exists within the MDM or not, so that there is no need to create a duplicate. We can directly select and import the record. Okay, and now let me go to account this time, and we can search customer 360. So this is some more interactive feature which I just told you. Search customer 360 and import. This is again a part of accelerator. Okay, you already name. Let's try to search this one only. Globe Python, sorry, Globe Python, and country is United States. I'm searching the person account. Before creating it, I can create also, but let's check whether it already exists. So once I search it, it will give all those Matching record which already exists within the MDM SaaS. Okay, now let's try to search in the SaaS whether it exists or not. Glow item. Okay, we have so many glow, and we can see this one. Okay, this already exists. Okay, we can see over here also, but I'm just trying to give you a overview. It exists within the SaaS, so it's good. It already shown on the Salesforce application. We don't have to do a round trip to a SaaS, and we can see the record, particular record, whether this is the only record which I am creating it, and finally import it. We can import the complete information within Salesforce also. So this is the information which is coming from the MDM application. So you see, search before creates, it's so effective and useful for all the for any steward or the user which is playing with the UI on daily basis, creating the customers accounts, hierarchies, contacts, right? So all this would be beneficial in if they try to utilize this accelerator. Okay, I'll directly now move to the sliders again to showcase something more in terms of what are the possibilities, how easy is to deploy this accelerator, or does it impact, or what support you'll be getting if you're interested in deploying it. Okay, tech is there. Okay, so how you can download and install the accelerator. First of all, this webinar will give you the overview, but if you want some more, you have more questions, we can see at the end as well. But if you have a lot of clarification you need, like how does it impact, you can definitely reach out to us or the global customer support. They will provide you all those clarity, how these accelerators are available, and how you can install it. And there's a complete step-by-step guide also, how to deploy the extension, what are coming with the extension, what are the what assets will be, which I have showcased, how it will be deployed. So it's very easy. That's what I can say. But again, the impact analysis and everything, there a complete clarification you can get from GCS via PM team also, and you can reach out to us also. Okay, and so if you see the downloads are available as archive, you can install it, and you'll be getting the complete support in the installation until the time you can deploy it successfully. And definitely you can go ahead and modify as well as per the use case, but the predefined mappings, for try we insist you to utilize a predefined mapping first, see how the records are getting pushed to the SaaS application from the Salesforce with just 2 to 3 fields, so that it can give you more confidence in deploying more volume of records in batches, in real time mode, both. Okay, also, like if some of our customers have in the path of migration to move from on-prem to cloud, like SaaS MDM, and or if you have some use cases which you want to deploy around customer data management, or deploy over the cloud and utilize our SaaS MDM, just for those, I'll try to give you the glimpse, like how this particular tool looks like from the overall point of view. Just for the glimpse perspective, maybe I'm logging from the data steward. I hope, okay. So this is for those customers who want to utilize this tool at the max of its potential, because this is fairly like it's growing in numbers. We have a lot of customers who have onboarded in recent past utilizing our SaaS MDM. So, but not many of them have probably used up till the best of the capabilities. So we have As you can see, this is the dashboard, a steward dashboard, wherein we can have the variety of analytics charts, customer by household size, by these are all like the analytics stuff you can build on top of uh, uh, as a part of the configuration only, right? And this is a steward dashboard. So dashboard depends upon person to person. Some maybe a high authority manager will have a different dashboard. Directly, not take much time. Directly, I'll jump on to the records, like record view, which can be improved or if I just talk about which I'm searching. These are all the master entities. Let me search and showcase how a particular 360 view looks like in the new SaaS MDM, right? So if you see this, some of the information, obviously these are not the correct names, but just to show the glimpse of the tool, we have the hierarchy view, network view, 360 view. You can see much more improved in terms of mm, uh, like the experience point of view, right? And so we strongly insist for like our prospects or customer just have a request for the free demo or how it tools looks like, so that we can probably map your use cases within our tool, and that's totally free. We have our teams to arrange for that. I'm not here to pitch you anything, but just to show from the tool perspective how it looks like, so that if you have some of the use cases or around the customer data or implementing the complete data management around the party organization, all those entities. This is the best tool to maybe go ahead and maintain your different sources of information in a consolidated way, uh, in a centralized repository, right? So here I'll end this complete webinar, okay, uh, with a quotation from the Gartner itself, which you can see, like using Informatica for MDM is like Salesforce for CRM. So both we have like seen in the part of webinar, and both batch, real time, ingress, incremental load, initial load, all those we have seen, and probably we'll have much more clarity like how to utilize this accelerator and the SaaS MDM. Okay, and I am sure you must be having a lot of questions. We do appreciate any out of the box thoughts or question you may have. You can write to us right now also, and there's a chat option available. Brinda might guide you more, but you can write to us right now, and we'll have our panelist as well, Dilip, who is also a technologist from the customer success team, who me and Dilip will handle your question, and definitely you can write maybe at the later stages. But any questions on top of the webinar, or any wild thoughts around the utilizing the C360 SaaS model, or any question around the migration, or any question on the accelerator, we welcome those right now. Okay, thank you.
Hello, everyone. You can post your queries or questions in the Q&A box. Kamal from the back end would be answering your questions. Over to you, Kamal. Kamal, can you hear me?
Yeah, thank you, Brinda. Yeah, so I'll pick the first question. I think came from Vino Kingston. Is this accelerator available for on-prem or private cloud MDM hub install? So the webinar we have showcased is specifically for SaaS MDM. The accelerator we have showcased it's all cover all the use cases like batch, real time for SaaS MDM only. But we have a separate accelerator for on-prem MDM specifically for Salesforce outbound integration, and that also can be requested or can be searched by KB article. So I hope I answer your question. Maybe to everyone, you can post your question on the thoughts you may have in deploying the accelerator or anything on the C360 SaaS as well. So we have our panelist also to answer. So it's a good chance to accumulate and ask the question. We still have some time.
Thank you, Kamal. There's one question from Aravind.
Yeah. So one more question. I think the CDI is only supported. No, we have CEI as well. That is supported. So CDI is for batch-based integration, and you can, if you want to have a real-time integration, you can have the CEI. I hope it answered your question. And
Thanks,
yes,
Kamal. Let's
like
wait for some more. Sorry, please go
go ahead.
ahead.
Yeah, just trying to clarify, maybe Series is available free with C360, at least for the MDM integration. Yes. Okay, go ahead, Brinda.
Yeah, thank you, Kamal. Let's wait for some more time before we can end the session. Everybody, please post your questions and queries in the Q&A box. Also wanted to let you know that like every Tech Tuesdays webinar, this webinar is also being recorded and will be available in the Informatica Support YouTube channel and the Success Portal, where you'll also be able to download the slide deck. Also, there is a post-webinar survey right after the session. Let us know your thoughts. If you have any suggestions for future sessions, let us know through the survey. Over to you, Kamal.
Yeah, and top of it, we are providing our full support in deploying the accelerator. Like we have the complete documentation as well as step-by-step videos, like how to deploy this accelerator. And this would be very beneficial if you are thinking of doing the jumpstart showcase to management with few Salesforce records, trying to integrate in a batch and real-time mode. So that's how it behaves. And just for your information, we have other accelerators also, like the life science one, but maybe out of topic for this webinar. So any questions? Maybe that's the last chance. I could say any questions on top of the accelerator, you can write to us right now. Or on the use cases which you might try to implement. Maybe good to add one more stuff. So the accelerator which we have shown comes with pre-built mappings, which will not only integrate the business entities but also their relationships, their hierarchies. It's all pre-built. You just have to utilize the out-of-the-box model from the C360 and Salesforce both. Nothing like a major configuration you need to do. So I've shown you in the demo just the person entity for the initial load. Let's suppose we have account entity, we have the relationships, we have the hierarchy. So all mappings are pre-built under the CDI for batch-based integration. We'll wait for 1 minute more to end this. You may ask questions if you have. Otherwise, we'll end this in a minute.
Yeah, looks like we don't have any questions coming in now. If we have failed to, I think we have answered all the questions that came in. If we have failed to answer any of the questions, we'll get back to you right after the session. Thanks everyone for joining. Thank you again, Kamal, for this wonderful session. Hope everyone is safe. Thanks for joining. See you on our next Tech Tuesdays webinar. Bye.